The gate doesn't go up the hill.
I know it doesn't go up the hill.
I will go you forward a wee bit and let me open the gate out here first, and then come back in. Keep it right, keep it right, keep it right, out. Almost stop! What the f***? Oh, I love this. What is this? Because you're revving it.
Oh.
Him.
Hello, Maverick.
What's the plan of the day?
The plan of the day.
What's next?
Just keep an eye on everything. There's a couple of singles and news to go up to the hill just and a bit of shifting around and stuff, but other than mostly just keeping an eye on things really.
But I see her pressing a wee bit. Something annoying her. There's no sign of any infections or any hurts or nothing. Yesterday she lambed on her own, you know. Give me the needle if you're catching her. In case she gets stabbed or something. Separate the lambs a minute. Turn her over. This one in here had been prolapsed. She'd been kept in here to keep an eye on her. Whenever they prolapse like that, sometimes they come round pretty quick and sometimes they don't come round at all. She hasn't put up enough milk for these two lambs, so I've been putting the tube in them. Unless they get outside to a wee fresh bit of grass, they get fed up with the wheel inside, you know. And in the case of that kind where you have 2 weak lambs, you can't really afford to have them out.
Yeah.
You know.
And is most of the lambs here, Conor, all twins, or what's the ratio?
I suppose they're about half and half so far, aren't they?
It'd be half and half, slightly more twins, slightly more, but
Blackface ewes wouldn't have big crops of lambs.
I used to lamb first time lambers, which would have been mule texel cross, anywhere from about 35 to 50. That's what I worked at for a lot of years. I quit it because I was just getting too fed up lambing sheep, you know. Then this boy here took place, Blackfaces.
And he's doing the donkey work too, it's not even me.
What are some for?
The difference in the temperament is the mule and the mule texel are far easier to work with by a country mile. These are ballistic.
These are like the limousine of sheep.
So explain to me why they're here.
Because he loves them. I wanted to just get him a lot of ewe lambs to run them and sell them as hoggets.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Without lambing them.
And then they never left.
But they stayed here and then he wanted them to breed with them.
And how many blackface have you got?
How many have you? 60 something?
60 ewes and a dozen or 15 lambs.
What sheep would make the most money? It all depends at the end of the day in the trade in the markets.
Yeah.
Either if you're selling fat stock, store stock or breeding stock. Any lambs that's not been kept at home has been sold as store lambs.
Yes.
And any lambs that's been kept at home is the mule ewe lamb out of the black-faced ewe to keep to the following year as a hogget, either to sell her as a breeding hogget or...
But that's where the benefit is, because them lambs stays for the year they're sold as a hog up. If you're not making them enough, you can take them home and lamb them again. That's what them 5 that's left, they were poor a bit and they weren't good enough to go last year.
Aye, so you've got that option with them?
Aye, it's the same as the way we keep the calves. If we had bull calves, what you're getting on the day is what you get.
Aye.
Whereas if you heifer, you're not getting enough to take her home and bull her.
Yes.
So it's just a backup plan.
But it stretches out the keeping. It stretches it out for months if you're in that situation.
I don't know, if you started to count up the money you'd scare yourself, you wouldn't be doing it at all, to be honest.
You grew up with it and it's in the DNA, that's basically why it's being done.
It's almost like you're self-taught. You know, you're a blow-in, you are the one to a certain extent.
Young and stupid and mad to be at it, really, and that is how it happened.
They're like me with Farmflix.
Yeah, you are a blue one.
Yeah, I'm definitely a blue-in, like, I'm definitely a blue-in. But I'm okay with that. Like.
Yeah.
I started off living down at the cottages down the road there. There were a big family of us down there.
Okay.
There were no farming background with us.
How many in your family now?
12. And if you go on up that lane there to the next yard, there was a family up there of the name of a Byrne. I started running about up here as a cub, primary school, helping me bits and pieces with sheep and stuff. So I used to go out every Wednesday to the secondary school when the cattle sales and stuff was on, go up the town and go to the cattle sales, and then come home and come up here. And I spent my evenings up here, my Saturdays and Sundays up here.
Yes.
Probably more up there than I lived down at home. So that's where it started from.
Yes.
I had a bit of stock of my own before this.
Yes.
I was actually renting a bit of land here and there.
Okay. I see you were dabbling at that point.
I was at that a bit, but I was working and I was in a full-time job in construction work. And then when I come home in the evenings, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, my time was all spent around this crack.
Looking back on it now, would you change anything?
I wouldn't be farming.
Seriously?
No, definitely not. That's nothing but slavery. When the back starts going and the knees start going, and that's the time that it tells you that you're not fit for it anymore. I told him to stay in that job. I need to get milk on these 2 lambs here.
You work away. Where are you getting milk from?
Oh, it's up at the house. I have to mix it, but I know to look at the 2 of them. They're
Hungry?
totally mad hungry.
This is Baltic up here.
That's a warm day too.
Look at the clubs. My goodness. Yeah. That's hands, look. That's what you need. Good strong pair of hands on you.
Fighting city hands.
Yeah. You hear your dad talking like that.
I think everybody gets that stage eventually. You should look up Alan and Tom, prime examples, like.
Yeah.
Okay, say that, like, but I don't really mean it. It's all talk.
I had a bit of this milk mixed last night for, I was putting a bit of milk in the 2 lambs. But I was putting it in them with the tube down their throat, you know.
What was Conor like at school, Neil? Was he the same as you? Was he trying to get home or?
I don't know, no, I think he put more effort into school than I put into school, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Was he always at your shoulder whenever he was younger, whenever you were out lambing? Or?
Not necessarily. He would have been at times, but he had his other interests too. Things that I have no patience for.
Yeah.
He's well switched on at all that. You know.
Yeah.
I'm an outdoor person. I have to be out. I have to be doing something outside. He doesn't want to be sitting in an office all day in good weather either.
Oh, I know. Yes.
Because he worked in another job at a time and he was doing stores, farm supplies. He worked in stores, and when the weather was good, he wanted to be out.
All good, Conor?
All good for now, you know.
What's a routine for checking them?
Have to test the temperature here a bit.
Every hour and a half, 2 hours.
Every hour and a half, you're checking sheep?
Yeah.
Every hour and a half, 2 hours. It's constant.
Walk away from them at dark. Leave them alone.
That's the way to do it right.
That's what I keep telling you, to drink coffee. You're on the boost, you need to get onto the coffee, yeah.
I know which one's cheaper anyway.
You see that boost? Rubbish. A good glass of Jameson or Tullamore G or something like that there. And forget about the bloody boost, I can tell you.
Farmflix is much more than YouTube, guys. Hours of agri content. YouTube is just the tip of the iceberg. Head on over, take a 3-day free trial today. It's free. Everything's free for 3 days. Get over and check it out.
We go and feed them.
I like the homemade crook.
That's another thing I made.
It makes everything, like, they built that car. He could do anything, I haven't got hands to bless myself. How do you remember your wellies on a dry day? And not when you're going into a milking parlour?
I didn't want to turn up with our gullies on when your dad looked at me. Because I've got wellies on, he knows that I'm not a blow-in.
Well, he knows what you're at then. the willies just hide the accent straight away.
Yeah.
Go and grab one of them. See if my old knees gets a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Oh, this crack here starts and she's no milk. At that age there, it'll be 4 times a day. Wonder how any new tubes in there. They're run up to the house again for it.
Just checking it was belly there to see if I could feel anything. Here, I'll just get up for the tube here anyway.
Run up and get the tube. Put another one in it.
Full one.
Right. Sometimes you put in the wrong way if they're not swollen. It's going into the lung and it kills them. And that you'll find when you're keeping sheep, that's something you have to learn to do.
I'll get something to eat here. Have you lunch with you? Have you?
I knew you'd have a steak and put steak and already.
Well, I was going to see if you want a full soda.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot you're a vegetarian.
Vegan.
Vegan.
I'm vegan. I'm vegan.
Imagine going out and filming farmers and him doesn't even eat meat.
He's not telling you the full story yet. I'm off meat for now.
And in fact, I get worse at them.
What's the plan, mate?
Plan is I'm down there and through this field up here. 9 years for single lambs up here, we're moving to a bit more grass. I you about there every minute or two and I.
What do you want me to do?
No, we'll just stand here and
Maybe you stand here.
send the dog away there.
Aye.
Come by. Complain that he has a hard life, but he doesn't like anybody giving him a hand anyway. I don't think he's actually realised I've ever lambed a sheep in my life. Because anytime you catch one, he has to get lambed it.
Yeah.
You know, unless you actually go and grab your cell and just don't tell him, just say, oh, I should lamb her cell. That's how it works. There's one year down there in that bottom shed where he's talking, Miney was saying about the lambing the ewe lambs.
Yes.
And I think there's something like 47 of them. I think I lambed 17 of them in a week in the evenings, whenever he was in his bed. Just never told him, just said, oh, she lambed herself.
Right.
Just left it on me. Because the ball can you take off for doing it.
That one coming out.
Where at? Oh, that's just a tail. So from that block over to here, and then the whole way up to the Kernstone, there's ours.
What do you use that for?
Just dry ewe lambs, really. It's only all it's fit for at the minute. The dog's shouting back.
There's no need to run and hide. Say what you need to say.
Stay there a minute, John. John. Move on a wee bit
I
now.
guess my time will come.
Ask John like what it's like working with Ned.
Like father, like son.
And the bed, you.
Move.
Push them on.
Run you down, bring up the basket and I'll turn her up here for I think she might need a jack. See, we were talking earlier on about things you have to watch for.
Yes.
You see one side here,
Yes.
when it gets too big,
Okay.
it can get infected, they can take mastitis.
Yes. Let me see. Yes.
Of the lambs sucking out one side here,
Yes.
you can get a lot of that there with a single lamb.
Yes.
If you have 10 lambs, both sides getting sucked.
Yes.
If you don't get it early, you'll not cure it. You know, so which lamb's hers, Conor, do you know?
That's that there, the wee weak looking one.
The one behind the gate. Just keep it.
It's heavy enough too.
Oh, why? But she had that much milk on one side. Just keep it there a minute. It's their beta milks and that. A long-acting injection, it lasts for about 4 days. Right. And then if they're not improving in 4 days, they get another one. But I was going to move some of these up the road to grass, but in a case like this here, it's better to keep it home because you're going to end up having to catch her somewhere else. I think I need a spray for that's the one that's infected. More in. Throw her lamb out there, Conor. Right. There she is in front of you there.
She's a glazy eye there too.
Do you know her lamb? No, we'll jag her with all the mason for. There's the trouble in there. That's easy cured at that stage, but if it's not treated, it'll escalate and the whole foot will get really bad.
I'm gonna hook a trailer on here now.
Are there any more layman's than that, do you know?
Doing that a couple of times a day would fairly take it out of you. Running up the field, pulling them down, jagging them. Like, I'm starting to see a picture now.
I walk that field about 14 times, 15 times a day. If there's twins up there, I'll leave them alone for a while till they're sucked. And then I walk them out at their leisure. Down and put them into a wee bit of better grass, either down there or down below. Keep them separated. And especially if it's fresh twins and another one's starting to get sick to lamb, she'll go over and she'll steal one of the twins, and then whenever she lambs her own, she rejects it.
Yes.
And if you keep them separated,
Yes.
work through them at your leisure every now and again.
Yes.
That's why you have to visit the fields so much. What's he doing? What's he putting it in the car for? Can he not put it in the tractor?
No, he's just moving the car, is he? Just down
He,
the
li-
road, no?
he likes burning up my diesel. All the things I'm doing here at the minute with sheep and stuff like that there.
Yeah.
Well, I learned that at primary school.
Yeah.
Right? From men at that time were 40, 50 years old.
Yes.
Them men knew what they were talking about.
Yes.
They had done it from an early age.
Yes.
They were passing on the same advice and experience that they had to me. Keep it there, keep it there. That's the gate here probably.
What does that even mean?
The gate doesn't go up the hill.
I know it doesn't go up the hill.
I will go you forward a wee bit and let me open the gate out here first. And then come back in. Keep it right, keep it right, keep it right, out. Whoa, stop! What the
Are you putting these lambs at the front?
Well, we'll have to lock this here and I'll probably bring a wee short hurdle in there. There should be a wooden one up there, I'll have to get it for.
Huh? One for 3. Hey, don't close that, John. Don't close it. Starting to see Alan's point of view.
Just hang on a minute, Conor.
I didn't even know what.
Get that fit for it, Chile?
Huh? Price of red diesel.
That's what your dad says. He doesn't want. He's using up my diesel.
Well, if it was up to him, I'd steal the country with that trailer in the back of the tractor. Right.
So where are these going?
We're going to a field with a knock blade here, where there's maybe not a lot of grass, but it's a bit better than what they're in at the minute.
How difficult is it to work with family?
I don't even know.
Seriously, like.
Bad.
But I don't think there's a father and son outfit in the country.
I don't think so.
That doesn't experience things like this.
Oh, there might be one or two, but it's,
Don't kill the dog, Conor. But I find myself doing all the stuff that used to irritate me
yeah.
when I was a kid that now I'm doing, and I can see my kids looking at me going, seriously? So why did your dad go back into the trailer there?
To paint the sheep, paint the heads and the sheep before you go up here, because of there's a lot of other people's sheep up here and don't want them mixed.
Aye, but could we have not took a tin of spray up with us, and then as they were getting...
Yeah. That's why I was losing the plot over.
Right.
Or whenever you load the sheep and they decide he's going to stand on the tripper for an extra 2 minutes just to look in at them. Just close the thing and let me go, would you? Close up. Get him around.
Although he did say, why is he not taking the tractor? And I says, aye, well, surely he's just moving the car. And your dad was all like, no, he won't take the tractor. He'll take the car.
Because that man would have me sailing the country in a Fiat at 35k,
Yes.
then jump in a car.
Yes. He fairly ran up a field all right though, like.
Well, they sort of had to, but if he'd come and done the thing, if he'd got stuck into them before we got that far, he wouldn't have had to run up a field. So that man should not be running after sheeping a field. But you couldn't tell him.
Yeah. But how do you? Like how does he stop that?
Whenever the legs give up. That's the only way you'll will.
Something I admire about that though, Conor, the older generation is they just won't give up, like.
Oh, it's admirable,
Yes.
but it's
You look at kids now though. Kids now think that they've got a God-given right to, my rights or my, this, that and the other. Whereas back in their day, they just get on with it, like.
people didn't have rights.
No.
Like I told him at the start that I was going to take 2 weeks off, steady and just lamb the sheep. Oh, that's all right, you do that. I said, well, that's all right, you're lying in the house. I'll be lying in no house.
He was good at directing you earlier about the reversing.
Oh, just don't get me started on his directing. Hey. You're going steady for dead on, and then next thing is that's all you get. And you don't even get, no, take her that way, because, and then you go that way, and it's, no. I'd rather bounce her off pillars than watch his directions.
Down the soft place.
Picking up that off there. Hey, there's a spray there.
Aye, the spray here. You got a jag too.
They're just
2 minutes just till I get close to
I'm
two.
going to get them here.
Two to mark.
Aye, they're in the corner. I'm going to get them.
Aye, but if you pull around the gate, they'll stay in the corner. If you don't pull around the gate, they'll be away.
Trump lambs never too sure.
You don't hit a catcher if you reach.
I don't need told how to do it.
Have you done it as often as I done it? Then when you're told something, you get crab it.
I get crab it because you're telling me how to do something I already know how to do. I'll start and tell you how to work with sheep, sure.
You needn't bother if I've been at it
Oh, you needn't bother telling me either.
I've been at it too long.
Well, then stop doing it. He's about fragile, that boy, yeah.
The wee one.
Yeah.
I'd like to get this one here out, you see, into that bale yard.
We'll run these in then and pot her out then.
I see her chewing her cud there since she got that injection, but I want to just put her out, pick a fresh grass around that garden there, mate. They have a mind of their own, you know. And they'll always go the wrong way for some reason.
Are you talking about kids or are you talking about the lambs?
Both of them.
What are you doing now?
I'm going to the top field to check out one I thought was suspicious, a lambing up here. So,
Sure, Brian will go away.
trying to get them convinced that you've done all this before them. You've learned from somebody else that has done it before me. They have to learn a certain amount of their own, but we all have a mind of our own anyway, don't we?
Yes.
And they have a mind of their own as
Yes.
well. Probably I caused as much havoc in my time at home as well. But